If you were to listen to the media and take them objectively, which I know many people do, a lot of you email me and you seem to be quoting verbatim from the media, then you might be misled. In fact, you would be misled badly. And I've just spent several hours of my time perusing Lucid, Tesla forums, looking at all the data, all the specs, and finding out what's really going on. Now, there are quality issues, but it seems as though Tesla has fixed their quality issues, whereas Lucid's are significantly worse. In fact, there's a whole range of quality issues that Lucid vehicles are showing. And, I thought when I made the video about a month ago that the biggest problem was going in reverse when you select drive and other things like that. But in fact, the issues in some Lucid vehicles are wide-ranging and extremely concerning. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back everyone else. And if you would like to see me speak, or in fact to see a whole range of speakers and new technology, new electric products, new electric cars, come along to the Fully Charged show in Sydney. In fact, Fully Charged are doing a range of shows next year all around the world, but I'll be at the one in Sydney, and I'll put a promotion code in the description below so you can get discounted tickets. I'll also be in San Diego in October next year and in London in April. Now, the reason I've started doing this is because I made a video not long ago about Lucid problems in their cars, digital media screens shutting down, and issues with actually driving the right way. Seriously, people trying to put their cars into drive and it actually reversing itself. However, an article just came up saying that a Lucid vehicle was taken to the paint shop to have a cut and polish, and they weren't able to cut and polish it because the paint was so thin. So I started doing some research on paint thickness. It turns out the average thickness for a Tesla vehicle now is around about 4 millimeters, depending on the model, depending on the year that they're made, but it's approximately 4 millimeters. And it seems as though Tesla paint issues now are not really issues anymore. They're pretty good. However, this Lucid vehicle and a couple of others were taken to paint shops and it was found that the thickness of the paint was less than 1.5 millimeters, meaning they couldn't do a cut and polish. It was impossible because if they actually did it, they would have gone down to the bare metal in many places on the car. So the only possible solution with that car was either for Lucid to repaint the entire car. In fact, there's a couple of them like that, for them to repaint the entire cars, or for those cars to have some sort of coat put on top of them in order to protect that very thin paint. After discovering that and looking at and researching paint thickness, I actually realized that the issues in Lucid cars are far more significant and wide-ranging. Now, first, here is an important point, and I think you guys need to know. I think Lucid cars are excellent. The actual vehicle themselves, aside from the issues, are phenomenal. The technology is next level. They have incredible speed. I mean, realistically, if you compare, say, a Lucid Air to the performance, to the specs and everything else, the terms of value you're getting from a supercar, they kill it, hands down. There's no supercar that compares in terms of the value for money for the performance, the luxury, the actual technology that's future-proofed. That's all right up there. They're incredible cars. But the media is being completely non-objective in the way that they compare the two. The media are pretty much not talking at all. They're staying silent for some strange reason on Lucid cars. Maybe no one clicks. Maybe no one clicks when they actually write an article talking about these issues. Maybe it's like when you write an article talking about how Ford having the roofs being so weak that hundreds of people have died from them when vehicles roll over. No one cares, so the media doesn't write articles about them. I don't know. But it is very strange. A quick look at the Lucid Owners Forum shows the most pressing concern, aside from the media screens shutting down and vehicles driving themselves in reverse, has been called the turtle of doom. There are at least 3 threads there reporting drive system faults, and when it happens, a turtle icon appears in the lower right corner of the main screen, as well as the message, drive system fault, pull over and contact customer care. You can see it in the threads, which I'll link to in the description below. Now, aside from this, the turtle of doom has also affected users' rear motors. which when it appears, well, often that rear motor has to be replaced. Some owners had other issues. When they saw the Turtle of Doom, they had a complete loss of power while driving. The user SM North Carolina said that they had gone for a drive with their kids and the electric sedan suddenly started losing speed in the middle of the highway. The speed limit was 55 miles an hour, but the driver was going with the flow of the traffic, so they're going faster than that. The speed dropped down to 45 kilometers an hour, about just under 30 miles an hour pretty much immediately. And the car was able to maintain that speed for 1.5 miles until the accelerator pedal went completely dead. Unfortunately, that's only one of a host of issues that I'm reading about. The 12-volt battery issue seems to be even more commonly a problem. In a thread, user Michael Greenberg said he had a similar issue. For him, Lucid said the problem was a wiring harness from someplace in the front of the Wonderbox. It was correctly attached, but it was faulty. When they moved the contact, as it was connected, the car died again. In another thread, another user said they had similar issues with a low voltage system. Electric cars actually frequently present this problem because they don't have an alternator. It's the DC to DC converter that feeds the 12-volt battery with the battery pack's help. Tesla vehicles are famous for having them. But it seems as though Tesla have solved this issue. Other users have reported panel alignment problems which have caused scratches on the car, like when they open the boot on the bonnet. Then because they don't align perfectly, it scratches the edges. Now, before I keep going on, it's worth keeping in mind, Lucid rejects comparisons with Tesla completely. It says it is a luxury car brand and Tesla is not. Therefore, anyone who compares a Tesla vehicle to a Lucid vehicle is incorrect. It's an unfair comparison. So I need to make that point. Lucid vehicles also sell at a much higher price than Tesla vehicles do. Quite a lot of buyers have also said there's been significant trim issues with their cars. I won't go into details, it's going to bore the heck out of you, but there's a significant number of buyers who have said that trim doesn't match up, it wasn't installed correctly, doesn't fit the car correctly, etc. Some owners have said that the trim actually falls off the car when you go over a bump. And one person said this: the experience was a painful and expensive lesson because never before have they bought a car this expensive and then had to use duct tape to hold parts of the car in the proper place. Another user reported a coolant leak, something that CLTGT, a previous user, had faced as well. According to this user, the problem was a clamp metal zip tie failure resulting in the hose rubbing on the axle and failing. A lot of users have reported problems with air conditioning not working. Ventilated heated seats turn off randomly. Audio fails to load, either Spotify, Bluetooth, or the radio. Media systems turning themselves off and going blank. And I'll stop there. I'll stop there because, frankly, Lucid has been quite critical of Tesla. The media has been quite critical of Tesla, but I think it's very clear from reading all of these forums, all these comments, and finding out this information. Tesla vehicles now have a better quality control than Lucid. It doesn't appear to even be in question. But the media are giving Lucid a free pass. Where have you seen this reported by the media? It's barely ever spoken about. Now, all of this wouldn't be such a problem if, let's say, this presented itself in a small number of cars. However, Lucid has only delivered a small number of cars. They've only delivered 2,000 cars. And quite a number of users are reporting numerous issues across 2,000 cars. It seems as though it's possible that if you've bought a Lucid, you'll experience at least one of these issues, if not 10 or more. So the key question I have here is, should Lucid be throwing shade at Tesla? Maybe not. What do they say? First look in the mirror, examine your own faults before criticizing the faults of others. In this case, that's what I think Lucid should be doing. But I also have to seriously question whether or not Tesla is being unfairly treated. Are they? I mean, really, if all these comments, all these problems are not being mentioned at all by the media, and they are being mentioned anytime they happen in a Tesla vehicle, is that objective? Is that fair? That's why I bring you back to this. Lucid cars, I still think are very good, but I believe you cannot trust or listen to the media. They'll simply lead you in the direction of believing a narrative that they'd like you to believe. Now, who does advertising? Does Lucid pay for advertising? They do. Does Tesla? They don't. keep that in mind next time you read an article. Who's written it? Why did they write it? And what are the ads on their page? Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.